Today there are a lot of updates from the Liman direction. Here, Ukrainian forces recently recaptured significant portions of territory along different vectors on the Kreminna line. Recent geolocated footage indicates that Ukrainian forces recently regained lost positions east of Terny and Yampolivka, one of the hottest areas in this direction. As you may recall, Russian forces are trying to take control of these settlements to cross the Zherebets River and have a direct path to attack Liman, which plays a key role as a logistical and supply center for the side that controls it. Ukrainian military observer Kostyantyn Mashovets recently confirmed that Ukrainian forces advanced about 1.5 kilometers near Terny and Yampolivka in a matter of few days, when Russian forces decreased the intensity of their attacks. Geolocated images released by the Ukrainian soldiers operating in the region show fragments of the counteroffensive efforts in various trenches near the Terny area. The footage shows fragments of intense combat fire, as well as the high degree of preparation and coordination of efforts carried out by a commander in the front line. Additional footage shows the destruction by Ukrainian forces of a Russian BMP using the Ukrainian ATGM Stugnapiki. This and other videos show a clear improvement in the available means and ammunition by Ukrainian forces, which is tipping the balance on the Ukrainian side at some specific points of the front line. However, the main and direct reasons for this sudden Ukrainian success are twofold. Firstly, as Mashovets indicated, elements of the Russian 20th and 25th Combined Arms Army were likely regrouping in preparation for resumed offensive operations near Terny and Yampolivka when Ukrainian forces counterattacked and regained lost positions. Secondly, different Ukrainian sources operating in the LYMAN direction stated that Russian forces are conducting offensive operations in the area exclusively with squad-sized infantry groups without armored vehicle support. As you may recall, Russian forces were reported to have lost more than 100 armored vehicles in the first 4 months of the year in the vicinity of Terny alone, due to continuous and infructuous attacks on this vector. The sources added that these Russian squad-sized infantry groups attack one at a time, but that a second squad-sized group will potentially follow behind an initial assault group to help secure captured positions. These tactics, which lead to a high number of personnel losses, are often referred to as Wagner tactics. The apparent poor planning by Russian commanders, the lack of armored vehicle support for the infantry, and the continued abuse of unsustainable tactics have meant that the Ukrainians have been able to take advantage of this period of regrouping to recapture in a few days a significant stretch of territory that has been disputed for months. As a result, Russian military bloggers recently claimed that the Russian MOD dismissed the commander of the 20th Combined Arms Army, Lieutenant General Sukrab Akhmedov. Claims of his removal are notable, as this would be the first removal of an officer actively commanding Russian forces in Ukraine as a part of the most recent round of dismissals. And the favorable news for Ukraine does not stop there. Ukrainian sources recently reported that Ukrainian forces made significant advances in 2 large areas in the Serebryansky forest area, one a kilometer deep along a 2-kilometer wide front southwest of Kreminna, and the other south of the first one in the vicinity of the Zherebets River. This operation was carried out by soldiers of the 12th Special Purpose Brigade Azov and the 1st Operational Brigade Burevi of the National Guard. Several recently released geolocated images show Ukrainian counteroffensive efforts in the Serebryansky forest. The first video shows the destruction of a Russian tank and a Russian BMP with what appears to be Ukrainian artillery fire. A first vehicle escapes a direct hit by a few meters and soon after tries to turn around to flee. A few seconds later, it is completely demolished by the artillery fire. The final images of the video show a second armored vehicle, in this case a BMP-2, also destroyed a few meters away from the first tank. A second video released by Russian sources shows a Ukrainian assault on a Russian position inside the forest. Ukrainian soldiers throw several grenades at the Russian position. Shortly afterwards, Russian forces try to defend themselves with an artillery barrage on the initial Ukrainian position. All uncensored images can be found on our Telegram channel. You will find the link in the description. Overall, the unsustainable tactics of the Russian army are finally beginning to take their toll at specific points on the front line, such as in the Liman direction. Signs of Russian exhaustion are evident here, and Ukrainian forces have been able to seize the opportunity to swiftly regain a wide area that had been disputed for months. This is yet another sign that the tables are beginning to turn in the development of the war, and Ukraine may be assuming a more active theater-wide stance. If you're against the invasion of Ukraine and you want to support the work that I am doing, consider making a purchase in the online store UA Supporter. Here you can find a lot of products with Ukrainian symbols to not only show your support for this channel, but also for Ukraine. The link to the online store is in the description. Thank you for watching this report, and I will see you in the next one.